Hello everybody, I'm Mandy from Powder Industries, and today I just wanted to go over and make a video about how I do my foundation routine. Everyone does their foundation differently. This is just my way. Hopefully you can learn some tips and tricks along the way and utilize them to your ability. Let's get started. So first off, we're going to go ahead and obviously go in with a primer. I have two primers that I go in between. One of them is the Benefit, the Porefessional. And the other one that I use also is Makeup's Forever, their Step 1 Matte Primer. Today I'm going to go ahead and be using the Porefessional. And this primer is very silky. It has a nice smooth finish to it. And also it helps to minimize your pores. Just going to grab a little bit about chocolate chip size amount. I'm going to go ahead and apply it on my forehead, my chin, under both eyes. Very silky, smooths on very nice. All right, next I'm going to go ahead and go in with my foundation. So obviously there's many types of foundation you can use: liquid, full coverage, not full coverage, foundation sticks. Today I'm going to be using the Hourglass Vanish Foundation Stick. I'm going to be using it in the color, let's see, Buff. So actually I just got this foundation stick 2 days ago. I used it once, I used it yesterday. I love it. It's for all skin types. It is full coverage depending on how much you put on your face. So since it is a foundation stick, you're obviously not going to get necessarily as much as a liquid foundation, but you do still get a pretty nice amount. It kind of has a little triangle. Hopefully that will focus for you. Sorry, it's messy. For light coverage, you're going to do one line on each side. So you'll do one line on each cheek, your chin, and your forehead. For medium coverage, you're going to do 2 lines everywhere. And for full coverage, they say to do about 3 lines everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and do medium to full coverage depending on what area of my face that it is. So you just pop a little bit up and go ahead and apply that on your skin. I feel like I'm an Indian. All right, I'm going to be blending in this foundation with a Morphe M439 brush. It looks like this. This is my favorite foundation brush, my go-to. It's nice and chubby, thick. It smooths out your foundation very nicely. So go ahead and buff out that foundation. All right, once all that is nice and smoothed in, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to apply a little bit on my chin / neck area just to keep that full coverage going all the way down the face. And just kind of blend it in from your chin on down. All right, once all my foundation is nice and blended into my face, my next step is going to be concealer. Currently I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. I use it in the shade Medium Neutral. And I'm going to go ahead, it has a sponge applicator tip which makes it nice and easy for application. I'm going to go ahead and apply it under both eyes, a nice big amount. I kind of make like a nice little U shape. Same on the other side. my chin, and the middle of my forehead, and then again, any blemishes that you might have on your face. And I'm also going to do a little bit on my eyelids just to set my eyes for a primer. You can use concealer as an eyeshadow primer as well. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and go in with a beauty sponge. I like to use this one. It has a nice pointed tip, which makes it real nice and easy to get up under your eye whenever you are blending out your concealer. And then the other end I'll use for my chin usually. Just go ahead and dab all that concealer into your skin. The more you dab, the more it's going to soak into those pores and the more flawless it's going to look once you're done with your complete look. And I'm going to go ahead and do my eyes. Make sure you're really getting in the corner of that eye. That's what this tip is for. Use it to its advantage. Then I'm going to go ahead and use the tip portion again for my eyes. All right. And I also use a concealer brush, which I'm going to go in with afterwards, just kind of touch up anything if I didn't get close enough to the corner of my eye, if I want to blend out the concealer on my eyelids a little bit more. And I use the Morphe E8. This is just my everyday concealer brush that I use. So go ahead and smooth all that out on your eyelid to where it has complete full coverage of your eye. Anywhere you're going to be putting an eyeshadow, you want that concealer to be there so it can prime those eyes. And it's also going to allow your eyeshadow to go on a lot more easier and smoothly. All right, my next step is going to be in under eye powder to really set the concealer under my eyes. You can use just a translucent powder. I like to use like a banana colored powder. Mine today is going to be from the Anastasia Contour Kit. It's the powder contour kit. And I'm going to be using this banana color right here in the middle. So go ahead and I take that brush again, the Morphe E8 brush, and I'm going to swirl it in my banana colored powder. And then I just kind of smooth that out over my eyes, patting my under eye to really soak in that concealer. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other side under that eye. Again on the chin. The forehead also where we had put some concealer. And last but not least, your eyes. Next, I like to go in with a translucent powder for all over my face to set everything that I just put on my face, my foundation and my concealer. I use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. It's very good for oily skin types, actually all skin types. And then I'm going to be applying it with the Morphe E41 all over powder brush. Just going to make sure we get a little bit on that brush, kind of tap off the excess. And then just blend all over your face that translucent powder. I even like to make sure I'm getting down on my neck where I had put that foundation earlier also. All right, now once that's complete, I'll usually go in with my bronzer and kind of get that all set up before I move on to my eyes or my brows. So today for my bronzer, I'm going to be using the Benefit Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. It's a nice tan color, and it smooths out really easily and wonderfully on your face. All right, so I'm going to be applying that bronzer with the Morphe E34 brush. I have two bronzer brushes actually. This is the bronzer This is the bronzer brush that I'm going to go ahead and put bronzer like right above my forehead in these two corners. And I like to also use this brush to put some bronzer kind of right in my temple area. And then I'm also going to put some bronzer on the side of my nose. And for my cheeks, I'm going to use a different brush, and I'll show you that in 1 minute. So go ahead and apply some bronzer on that brush. And then I like to just kind of hit these 2 points up here, the high points of my forehead. And then kind of take it down around the face right here. Same thing on the other side. And then around the edges of my nose. And then for my cheeks, I use the Morphe E2 bronzer brush. So go ahead and apply some bronzer on your brush. And then for this, I like to start about right here, kind of where my hair ends, and I just like to make a nice sharp angle right into about kind of the corner of my cheek, but quite not that far down. So. There we go. And then same to the other side of your cheek. All right, well, that completes my foundation routine. Next, I would go in with a blush, and obviously I would complete my eye look and, of course, do my brows. But that's it for my foundation routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something. Please subscribe to our channel and tag us in any foundation routines that you tried inspired by this look. We would love to see them and post them to our Facebook page. Visit and like our Facebook page at Powder Industries. Thank you so much. See you next time. Mwah!